Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host Gungu Mildred and I'm so happy that you're here again. So, on today's episode, I want to discuss about toxic work environments part 2. From 2018 to 2022, when I quit my job, I worked in the same company for those 4 years. And in 2018, I was happy because I had just come from the hotel industry. It had been busy. I was stressed. But now this other industry was cool. I was calm. Like I was a receptionist at a doctor's clinic. So it was just like calm. Hakuwa na stress mingi, hakuwa na nini. So 2018 I was happy. Like ilikuwa tu niende job, ni clean ofisi na nikae. But 2019 I started getting tired because I underestimated the fact that I was used to work and that I love working. So mimi 2018 nilikuwa tu mayolo, but 2019 mwili ikaanza kuniambia hapana, you need to be doing more, like you need more work. So 2019, 2020, 2021 I was like done na hiyo place. I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to leave. I just wanted to be gone from that environment. But yeah, so I continued working, but my heart was not there anymore. But anyway, so in 2021, my bosses were opening up a different a hospital. They were opening up a hospital. So they started hiring people, and the person who was supposed to be hiring these people, okay, so they were doing interviews from that office that I was working at, and then they hired this woman. I don't know if I should use her real name or maybe I should just use like a short form. I'll call her Mina. So this Mina woman was hired, and she was going to be I don't even remember her real title, and I don't even care, but she was going to be dealing with the stuff. So what she started making mistakes and mistakes after mistake, ended up costing the hospital, which had not yet begun, a lot of money. But that is not what I'm going to talk about, because those are none of my businesses. Yeah, that is none of my business. My business comes here. So they were after I think I'll have to talk about that other place kidogo, because she ended up, these people, okay, let's say the hospital was supposed to begin in March, but this woman ended up making people quit their jobs where they were working and start coming to work in our office, or the office that I was working at, from like January and like to some February. So it was like in the entire month of those people just coming to my office, sitting, and they will be given some things to do here and there. But basically, hiyo ni time wangekuwa bado wanafanya kazi where they were and being paid in the other place. But anyway, that's how she ended up costing this new hospital a lot of money, because these people weren't supposed to come until like hiyo mwezi yenye hospitali inafunguliwa. So this woman, when she was hired, she started coming to the clinic where I was working like way before, because she was assisting with interviews, she was assisting with creating the SOPs and stuff like that for the new hospital. So while she was working from my office, she wasn't the only one. There's another lady as well who was going to be head of nursing. And so the two of them were working from my office. So while they were doing that, I told them, like usually I come in the office in the morning and I clean the office. So after that, then patients wanaanza kuingia when we have patients. But since you'll be working from here, could you at least be coming at around like 10? Because they didn't have a specific time that they were supposed to come to my office. So I told them, could you come like later? Because my time to be at the office is at 9. I get in at 9, I clean the office, and then I start my duties, my other duties, that is. But you guys do not have a specific time that you're supposed to be here. Or they did, I don't know, but I just, because there was another office they could use, I was like, even if you come and I'm still cleaning, could you go to the other office? So what I used to do, and I started doing that later on, a little bit later actually, is that when I would be cleaning the office, I would lock myself in. so that I could clean at least kukauke before any of them comes in. And the reason I started doing that was because this woman, the day she came for her interview, she behaved as if she was okay. She knew the bosses some of the bosses who were interviewing her. But the way she was behaving on that day of her interview, it was like she wasn't there for an interview. She was just coming, it was like she was coming to catch up with friends, like all friends. And then when she came out after, I think she had been told that she was going to be given the job, she was like, "Hey, what did you tell me your name was?" I was like, "Mildred." "Oh yeah, Mildred, darling. I think you and I are going to be such good friends, honey." And that was a red flag for me. Call me pessimistic, call me whatever you want to call me. But anybody who starts calling me these cute names on the first day we have met, I naekanga very many, very, very huge question marks. Because why are you calling me honey and darling and sweetie and we've just met? I don't know you like that. So don't. But then when the moment she said that to me, I just knew we weren't going to get along. But anyway, it's a work environment. It's not my office. I'm not the one who's paying for it. So I was like, okay, I'll play nice. I'll be a good host until they leave. Because it wasn't supposed to be a long time. But if only I knew. Anyway, so Mina starts working and the other lady as well. The other lady, at first, because the other lady came later on. So Mina, when she started coming in, she apparently they were told that I'm not their secretary. I'm not supposed to be helping them with anything because I don't work for that new hospital. May I work for this clinic they're working from. So I'm not supposed to do anything for them. But this lady, because Aliona Mwafrika, she's Indian. As I said in my previous episode, I've dealt with some very racist Indians. Because she's Indian and I'm African, she thought that, oh yeah, she's going to misuse me. You remember that thing of, oh darling, you're going to get so along or whatever. But I knew we weren't. So anyway, Mina comes in and she's like, I go to make tea and trying to be nice. I was like, I'm making my own tea. Would you like me to make you some? Because she found me in the kitchen making my own. And actually it wasn't tea, it was coffee. And she said, yeah, you could make me a cup. And I was like, okay. So she asked me what I have. I told her I have Nescafe, I have a tea bag, and I have powdered milk. So whatever she needs, she can just use those. She was like, oh no, just make me a cup of coffee, I think. I make it and then I give her. So as the days continue, so they're doing interviews and stuff. Then whenever she would use any glass in the office or whatever, she will put them in the sink. So ikikwambia amekunywa chai ataniachia kwa sink. Akikunywa glass maji ataniachia kwa sink. And I will just clean because I was like stucky issues, trying to be zen and everything, trying to be nice. Then this other lady gets employed and she starts coming to work there. So the head of nursing, she starts coming to work at the office as well. So they are the two of them. On the first day she comes, Mina is talking to her and I can hear them because it's the same office, although they were in an inner office. So she's all speaking all animatedly and she's like, yeah, whatever you need, Mildred can do for you. And I'm like, excuse me? Because I'm at my desk and they can hear them. And I'm like, what is this woman saying? And then she's like, oh, what you can do today is like write all the SOPs that you can think of. Just write them here. And she gives her a piece of paper, like printing paper. She starts writing. She's like, you can write whatever you need to write. And then you can give it to Mildred to type for you. She's very helpful. And I'm like, what? Because you are sat there with this woman and she has a laptop in front of her. She can literally type those things on her laptop and then she can send them to our office printer and then she can have them printed. Why I have to do this work, I didn't get. But nikajiambia, ni sawa, calm down, just wait and see. Wait for your chance. If they continue misusing you, then say something. But for the meantime, just keep quiet. So this lady, she starts writing them because I remember I was even passing by them and she looked confused when Mina was telling her that, no, don't type, just write them and Mildred will write them for you. Yeye anajaribu kumwonyesha tuko na mtu wa mkono hapa. So she writes them on pen and then she brings them to me to type. I looked at her and I was just like, okay, fine. I typed them, I gave them back. And she was like, thank you. But she felt some type of way, like alijua, it's not okay. Because yeye anakumbuka wakiambiwa, I'm not there to do anything for them. I'm not supposed to be doing anything for them. But huyu mwingine Mina, yeye ako na hiyo mentality ya, no, mimi niko hapo kuwasaidia. Anyway, the other lady was African, Mina was Indian. That's the difference. Anyway, so I type, I give it back to them. I print it out for them. I take it to them. And this woman had the guts to try and correct something that I had written. And she's like, no, you can correct this one and rewrite it like this. Nilimpea tu macho. I think ikamwambia like, don't. So anyway, after that day, they never gave me anything to type for them. But during that same week, kukakuwa na incident because tuko tumefanya kazi naye peke yetu sisi wawili, and she was respecting that thing of nikiosha ofisi don't come in. But after this other lady kukuja akajaribu kujionyesha like she's the boss, unaona. So she was trying to do everything in her power to use like my bosses in her office, like ile yao private where they see the patients from, and si huku mahali walikuwa wameambiwa wakae. So anakuja anajikalisha huko ndani kwa ofisi, anaingia anakaa huko, and she wants to use that place all the time. Me, I'm like, I don't want that, because when the doctors come, itabidi ambiwa bebe vitu zake atoke, and it's just embarrassing. But alikuwa anajiforce. Na seti hakuna ofisi ingine ya privacy. Kunayo, because the office was pretty big. But anataka tu kukaa kwa madaktari ukaa. So me, I would leave her to stay until daktari akakuja akaniambia, yeah, so and so wants to be working from in there because it's more quiet, blah blah blah. So I looked at my boss and I was like, oh, unachezwa nani, unachezwa. Because this woman, she's just playing you. She just wants to feel like she's all powerful, and it's just nonsense. So anyway, me nikachana nayo because they are both Indians. Ni sawa, it's their own thing. I didn't want to get involved. So they stayed there for a while. So I think it was the same week that this other lady, the head of nursing, had joined. I think it was that week, because it wasn't the next one. It was that week. So I told the other lady as well, the head of nursing, like, I clean from this time to this time. So if you can delay coming in here in the mornings, I'll appreciate that. But if you have to, and I've cleaned the front, unaweza ngoje ukae huko kwanza, huku ingine kukauke, then you can come to the other side where they usually used to sit. And she was like, okay, sawa sawa. So on this particular day, I come to work, and then actually before I get to that, while they were together that same week, there's a day they were doing interviews. So there's this day where they were going to be carrying out interviews, and I used to act as their receptionist whenever they were having interviews. So people would come and I'll be the one to be like, yeah, hello, your name is so and so, okay, go. But that was not part of my job totally. But anyway, nilikuwa nimejitolea nikasema tu it's okay. So this day kitu ilini put off na huyu mama, it's that she came and, today we are going to be busy, and sometimes I forget to drink water, because when she came, she found me that I love drinking water. So she was like, you like drinking a lot of water, yeah? I'm like, yeah, me, I forget sometimes. So yeah, I think you should be reminding me. And I was like, really? Like kazi yangu iko pia kumbusha kukunywa maji. So this day she tells me that, I'm going to be busy and I might forget to drink water. So could you please be coming after every 2 hours and bringing me a glass of water? Hey God, give me patience. Like, whenever you pray for patience, I stop praying for patience. Because whenever I pray for patience, God gives me things to be patient about. Like, atanirushia all manner of things. So this woman tells me, nikuwe nenda after every 2 hours nampelekea maji. So akiingia kwanza interviews akaenda na glasi ya kwanza. After like hours and hours, nikajiambia tu okay, try to be nice, wacha nikampeleke. Nikaenda nikachukua glasi alikuwa nakunywa, nikaenda nikamchotea maji, nikamletea. I was, oh, thank you, you're such a darling. Nye, 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 nye. I was like, God, I'm doing your work. Wacha tu nifanye na niachane nayo. So in the evening when the interviews were done, she came praising me. Oh my God, that was such a good thing you did. Thank you for coming and getting me water, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to appease me. Ndio nione ni kama, oh, we are BFFs. Anyway, back to the story yenye nilikuwa nimeanza. So on this particular day when the shit hit the roof, Mina hadn't come in. So mi nilienda kazini asubuhi kama kawaida. I got into the office, put my things okay, then nikaanza kuosha floor. So when I started, I didn't lock the door. That was before I started locking the door when I was cleaning. So I started cleaning from the reception area, and then kulikuwa na corridor. I enter through the corridor, I go to the boss's office, alafu nakuja hapa katikati mali walikuwa nakaa, alafu niingie kitchen, alafu nipite nikienda saa to the last office ilikuwa huko ndani. So nimemalizana na hapo ndani, nimeingia kwa ofisi ya wadosi, niko hapa katikati. The head of nursing comes. Naambia, oh, don't come this side, ngojea kwanza kukauke because I'm still cleaning. Could you just sit at the front kidogo, I finish? And she's like, oh, okay, sawa sawa. She sat down. Then jumbele kulikuwa kushakauka. The windows zilikuwa zinafunguliwa vizuri and baridi inaingia. Like it didn't take time. So akangoje huko mbele. Nikamaliza ofisi ya wadosi na kuja hapa katikati, mlango inafunguka tena. Mina comes in, and this other lady tells her, hey, Nani, Mildred is still cleaning, so just give it a few, minutes for you to dry and then you can go. And she's like, no, I have a meeting at, she's saying at 10. Ama ni at 9:30. Actually, she was saying at 9:30. Na makiu bado kuna like 10 or so minutes na hiyo ofisi itakuisha kauka by then. Even setting up your laptop, na hata setting up the laptop, she could have done it at the front because internet connection was all over the office. Seti kwa hiyo ofisi ya madaktari peke yake. It was everywhere. So she could have sat up mbele kidogo, even started her meeting because it wasn't like a private meeting and nobody else could hear. And even if it was private, angeka huko mbele, there was a door between where I was and where they were huko mbele. And she could have just shut that door, akae huko, she would have had the meeting without any disturbance. But she insisted. Huyu mwanamke amepita, amekuja na I'm like, hey, come on. I'm still, juu amekanyaga maji, hapo mali amekanyaga footstep imebaki chafu. Anataka kuingia kwa ofisi ya ndani, pia huko anapeleka hiyo footsteps chafu. Na ndio nimetoka kwa, I was like, seriously, what are you doing? Just look at what you're doing. Just look at the floor. And she starts yelling at me. Hey, big mistake. Because who are you yelling at? One, you're not my boss. And even if you're my boss, you have no permission to yell at me. And me, the moment you start yelling at me, something switches off in my head. And every respect I had for you, it's gone. Like, it's not like a temper tantrum. Nile too, like, I'll dish what you give. You yell, I yell. You insult, I insult. Not necessarily insult, but like I'll make sure you understand you're not supposed to be yelling at me. So she starts talking and saying things nini, like they don't show her respect. Like kama nataka aoshe, she can clean because she knows how to clean. And I'm like, all I need from you is to just give me a few minutes for the floor to dry and then you can do whatever you want. And she's like, I have a meeting at 9:30. I'm like, the office has Wi-Fi everywhere. You can start setting up your laptop at the front. This place will be dry in like 2-3 minutes and then you can pass. She's like, no, you cannot do that. And then she started saying some other stupid things. I was so pissed. Sitaketa kuzirudia. So I go to enter the kitchen, ndo nikaoshe kitchen, because I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to argue with her. So I walk away from her, I go to clean the kitchen. But sasa hiyo place, windows zote zimefunguliwa. So it was so windy. The moment umesongesha mlango from the wall kidogo, nivo. So ikabang, pap. This woman comes and opens the door and she's like, that's not how people communicate. You cannot be banging the door. And when I'm like, hey, listen, lady, I did not bang the door on you. This place is windy, and that's why I told you it will only take you a few minutes for the place to dry. I moved it because I was cleaning behind the door, and then the door banged because of the strong winds. It's not me. Me, I'm already done with you. We're not arguing anymore. No, 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 no. You're very disrespectful, and I'm going to tell your boss, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you do that. Please, go ahead and do that. But I will not tolerate this. I will not engage in this arguing that you want us to do. I'm not going to do it. So she continues yelling and she goes into the inner office saying that she's going to clean. Like when I'm done with the mop, I should give it to her so she can clean wherever she stepped. And I'm like, me, I'm done. I continue cleaning, I do my job, and I'm like, I'm not repeating. Mali amekanyaga siwezi pitia na mop tena, which is something she had told me, like, it's part of your job, you're supposed to be doing it. And I'm like, so, nioshe, uchafue, alafu nirudi kuosha. This is not a hospital corridor. This is not a restaurant ati kuna panguzo na clients bado wanaingia. No. This is an office. I've told you, you're not supposed to be coming in while I'm cleaning. She knows this. Noke umefika, kaa hapo mbele dakika mbili tu kukauke kama huyo mwingine. But jaribu kuonyesha she's the boss. She started arguing with me and everything. I finished cleaning, nikaosha the mop, nini, mi nikamaliza, nika clean mikono yangu. And then, because there's something she had said, like I've been behaving badly towards them since they arrived to that office. So when I'm cleaning my hands, I ask the other lady, because sasa amekuja kwa ofisi ya mali wanafaa kukaa. I ask her, like, this lady said this and this. Is that how you've been feeling? Like, since you came, have you been feeling like I'm misbehaving towards you or I'm mistreating you or something like that? And she was like, no. Like, even when she told me that you should type for me the work that you gave me, I was surprised. So I don't know about you and Asema, everything else, but I don't want to be involved. I don't want to take anybody's side. I don't want to do anything because I don't know her and I don't know you. Which was, I understood that. But she was like, but in today's scenario, yeah, she was on the wrong. Because she was. And I'm like, okay, anyway, if I've done or said anything untoward towards you, just, I'm sorry. And if I do anything else, just tell me. Because I don't want that to be me. And this scenario that you have just seen us arguing, that's not what I do. I don't argue with people who are older than me. But she just annoyed the hell out of me with what she did. She was like, okay, sawa sawa. So I left it at that. Mimi nikaenda nikakaa nikaendelea kufanya kazi zangu. So baadaye she comes out, she looks at me and then she goes back into the inner office and she's talking to the other lady and she's telling her, you better take my side. Now she's threatening her, like, you better take my side. You have seen how she's been treating us since we came here, yes? And the other lady is keeping quiet because, as she told me, she doesn't want to take sides. She doesn't want to engage in her madness. So she's like, no, she's been behaving bad and you better take my side. If you don't, we're going to have, like bad blood. And we're just starting to work together so we can't go that way. So this other lady is keeping quiet. And no, she's talking like that and I can hear her. The office is empty-ish, because other than the furniture, you go to spacious, like kuna milango and stuff, but when you talk loudly, the echo carries, so I can hear her. Nikajiambia, okay, ni sawa. Now, she hadn't realized that she had messed up something huge, because all these little favors I used to do for her, favors I knew I was not entitled to do for her, they were going to stop. Like the washing vyombo zake, me bringing water for her, me making tea for her, vitu kama hizo, they were going to stop. And just generally being nice. I was going to be cordial because at the end of the day, it's an office. Whether we are working in the same company or not, it's an office setup. So I have to be cordial. So coming in, I'd never said hi to her anymore. Meaning ningeingia tu akuja na alikuwa ananipita. The first few weeks, she would just walk by me and go. And I didn't care. And then ikafika mahali when now other people came and they used to say hi, she started saying hi again. But I'll just be like, hi. Because salamu ni ya Mungu. So just say hi. But anything else, no. And she had the sense to never ask me for any favors. So this was like on, I think on a Thursday. And then the other lady didn't come in the next day on a Friday. And mimi nikaenda. So I was at work. Nikamaliza, because I think, yeah, the lady didn't come the next day. Ama was it on a Friday and the lady didn't come in on a Saturday and she came? I don't know. It was one of those days. So the next day I come in. Kwanza hiyo siku nilijua while I wash my dishes, mi nitaosha mapema because after I ate whatever I was eating, finish my coffee in the morning, nikaosha my cup, my glass, nikaiosha baadaye and I went home. The next day nikafanya the same thing. I came in, after kukunywa chai nikaosha kikombe yangu, nikamalizana nayo na nikaiweka hapo ikauke. Glass pia nikamalizia na nikaiosha. So yake yenye alikuwa ameweka hapo on Thursday evening, because she still thought I was going to wash it for her. Like seriously. Alitumia on Thursday, akakuja akaniwekea kwa sink kikombe na glass. Na mimi nilikuwa nishaosha zangu, because what used to happen in the evening ni I used to go to the washroom, come back before I close the office. Come back into the office, I clean my glass and my cup, alafu nikimaliza, then I lock the office and go. So this time I did the opposite. I cleaned my glass and my cup before going to the washroom. So when she had that nimeenda washroom, akakimbiza vyombo kitchen. Mi kurudi sinishamalizana, so nikaingia tu, I changed because I used to wear like open shoes in the office. Nika change into my street shoes na nikatoka, nikamwacha kwa ofisi because by then alikuwa amepewa fungu extra ya ofisi. Kai. Anyway, mi nikamwacha, mi nikaenda. So coming in on Friday anazipata bado hapo. Of course, mi niliingia, move them aside, nikatumia sink na nikaachana nazo vyombo zake hapo. So ikabidi azioshe. That evening pia she had to do the same. Ndo akarealize I ruined something. Alafu unajua ni hizi nishtaki ati kwa dosi yangu simoshe vyombo, because kumbuka waliambiwa I'm not supposed to be doing anything for them. But here she was taking advantage. So she couldn't report me or do anything about it. But ile ya kumshautia, hiyo alikuwa amereport. But my bosses, I think they knew her, but they also thought they knew me. So they never asked me about that particular thing. Like they never brought that issue up. So the next week I come in on Monday. Alafu my bosses came in either on that Monday or on Tuesday, and I asked for leave because I wanted to travel to the village the coming weekend. So they approved, wakanita kwa ofisi. Kwanza when they called me in the office, she was like, yes, she's going to get it. But they just spoke to me about stories of office, and they told me to be patient with those guys. They're not going to stay there forever. I should just, treat them kindly, nini. But they didn't bring up her name or anything. So it was just like a general thing. They told me not to lose my cool very quickly, blah, blah, blah. They told me that I don't know what to call her. She told me I was too emotional, so she's afraid to tell me to bring up some things, so she doesn't. And I'm like, too emotional? Were you here? Did you see what she did? And if it were you, ungebehave aje? But this I was asking myself in my mind. But nikasema ni sawa, it's okay. They approved the leave and I was okay. So they had some interviews on Friday that week. And they had this other lady who had already been hired as well. She was like going to be the receptionist in the hospital, and so she was acting as the secretary. But yeah, she chose not to stay in that clinic because of the way this woman was behaving. So she was using that other office that they could use, Ukoju. So I called her and I told her, yeah, I know you have interviews on Friday. Here is the key, because me, I'm not going to be here. It's going to be, I told her the key is going to be with so-and-so because I'm not going to be here. And once you're done, you can give it to so-and-so. Mimi stuck one and I leave. The next week, I'll come back like on Friday or something. She tells me, okay, sawa sawa. So, simi nikatoka. Thursday nikaenda home. After speaking to that lady, nikamwambia, you'll have to be here to conduct the interviews, to help, these ladies here. And she was like, okay, sawa. So I did the right thing. It wasn't my job to be doing that. I used to do it as a courtesy to my bosses. But iyo nikitoka, I did the right thing. I handed it over. I told somebody else, I'm not going to be here. So tomorrow, you have to come and sit at my desk. You're the one who's going to be welcoming the people who are coming to be interviewed and do everything I was supposed to be doing, basically. And she was like, okay, sawa. So the next day, Mina comes into the office. She doesn't find me. Because she used to come anapatanisha ingia. This time she comes, I'm not there. Wako na kifungu, amefungua, ameingia, amekaa, I'm not coming in. Amekaa, I'm not coming in. Interviews kabla zianze, the lady had spoken to, she comes. Anakaa, anamuuliza, is everything ready? Mina is like, yeah, but where is so and so? Where is Mildred? And the lady says she took leave and she has gone. She's not here today. What? Why? She didn't even ask me. How dare she just leave without telling me? And this lady is like, she's not supposed to tell you. She told her bosses. Her bosses approved the leave. So, and she told me to, but no, we are going to be having interviews today. She knew that. Yes, and that's why I'm here. Because these people are interviewing for the job that we are going to be doing. Uko the other side. Mildred is not part of that hospital, so she's not even supposed to be concerned about it. This lady leaves and goes to the other office upstairs, and she starts yelling uko juu, akiambia kila mtu, I'm going to make sure that woman is fired. Who does she think she is? She just leaves and she doesn't tell me. Who does she? Like she spoke. Alafu anasahau, people talk. Like she spoke about so many things, insulted me, saying that she's going to end my career and everything. And man, mimi siko. So napigia tu simu naambia udako. Then karudi akapigia one of my bosses. Akawambia, you have to fire this woman. So one of my bosses goes to the other office huku akiongea. One of the ladies huku alikuwa anapenda udaku. Anamuuliza, so doc, I hear that, so Mina said that you should fire Mildred. And she's like, how am I supposed to fire her? What wrong has she done? She works for our clinic. She did the right thing. She asked for leave. She signed the leave form. We signed it. She went on leave. So what am I supposed to fire her for? Because this lady just said that we fire her. And they're like, okay, sawa. But they didn't tell Mina that. So mimi kurudi the next week, this lady had left in charge, anakuza niambia, we kiliumana. Even the other one wakupenda udaku, she came and said the same thing. Na pia alikuwa anaambia whoever could listen that, oh, that lady, that Mildred is in trouble. When she comes back, she's going to get fired because of Mina. So Mina rudi na baki, getting fired for what? I didn't do anything wrong. Nikaendelea na kazi. My bosses never brought it up. Nobody ever brought it up. When I came back, she looked at me nikama sijui mimi ni nini, nikama ameuma ndimu kali or whatever. I didn't care. Mimi naendelea na life yangu. I was like, I do not give an F what you're going to say about me. You threatening that you're going to get me fired for something that I didn't do. I did the right thing, even though I wasn't even supposed to be concerned about your company in the first place, but I did the right thing. I made sure there was somebody who was going to take care of your people when they came. But yeah, ameenda akiongea takataka kila saa. So, mi narudi, I continue with work. Now, she makes the blunder that I spoke about before. And all these people who had been hired, she makes them come a month earlier. Or even was it 2.5 months earlier. Like walikaa hapo wasting time. So they come and they start working from there. So vile aliona mimi simfanyi anything, kumbe while they were working from there, ilikuwa inafika saa lunch anapatia mtu chakula yake, aende akamchemshie. Alafu amletee. Kuwatumatuma akiwaambia wafanyie vitu, like vitu za mkono, kazi za mkono. That lady, that the head of nursing, she was now sitting at my desk with me because hakuwa anataka issues zake. Whenever they were together, it was a meeting and they were both supposed to be there. But kani yeye peke yake, she would be like, no, she's not interested. Akaona jua nilikuwa nawafungia the other side peke yao, yeye nao madem, but yako kwa ofisi ya wadosi wangu, au kwa the other inner office au madem wengine. So anashinda akiwaita, mimi sikuwa najua. Kumbe alikuwa na waharas, alikuwa anawafanyia mavitu wako ana expect, and they started complaining. So that's how my bosses and the other bosses were the new hospital came to know about this issue. And that's when they came and brought her in for a meeting, and whatever was discussed was discussed. I won't talk about it because it wasn't part of my thing, but she ended up getting fired. Imagine getting fired before you even start the job, like the main job that you're supposed to do. But yeah, she ended up getting fired. So hiyo time ndo nikajua kumbe she was doing all these other things to these other girls zenye mi sikuwa najua. Because me once nimekuswitch off in my brain ni hivo. I didn't care how she was eating, how she was drinking, vyombo zake zinaoshwa na nani or anything like that. I wasn't concerned. But kumbe alikuwa anafanyia madem the things that she used to do to me before. So she ended up getting fired before they moved to the new office. So, well, it was just crazy. Like, I remember the last time she came to the office after, I think she was coming to take her final things, ama kusign sijui ama to get a final check, I don't know, but there was something she was coming to do like the final time. Hey, that day, okay, before hata aende fast, alikuja akaniongelesha vizuri, akaanza kwanza vile alisikia kuna hizo issues, she's being called for disciplinary, hearings or whatever. She started being nice to me. Akisema vile she's so grateful to me because I've been so kind to them and everyone who has been working in their team, she's just so grateful and all these other nonsenses. Nilikuwa na maana tunaambia it's okay. And hiyo time akiniambia hivyo, by the way, because I was trying to apply to that new office as well, because they were paying more and everything. And I asked one of my bosses, because she was one of the bosses there as well. I was like, can you also apply to that one? And she was like, okay, it's okay. So akapigia huyu Mina simu akamwambia, these interviews that are coming this week, can you put Mildred on the list? She's going to be interviewing. Mina akaenda kaambia tena kwa ile ofisi, kaambia ati this girl wants to come and work with us at the new hospital. She's not going to come there. I'll make sure that interview, I'm going to embarrass her. I will do it and I'll make sure that she fails. I'll tell her no. I'll be so happy to tell her. Ini before mashida zanze kumkumba. Kumbe the more she talks, na pia vituko zenye mwenye amefanya zinamrudia na ajui. So ndio before hata hiyo interview ifike, she got fired before even that interview happened. Anyway, hiyo interview kufanyika even for me because my boss akaridu kuchange mind and anyway, a story for another day. But for Mina, she got fired before hiyo siku ifike. Imagine kuitwa unasomewa vitu zenye watu wamekuwa complain about what I've been doing because people wrote notes. What I got upset about that situation was mimi sikuwa ulizwa niseme what she had done to me. And mark you, I had worked with her, and I put worked in quotes because I thought I found the same thing. But I had been in that office with her for a longer period of time than these other ladies when alikuja wakaanza kuharasiwa. So, but because Mimi, my boss had said I'm too emotional, nobody ever asked me to write anything. But anyway, results were the same. She got fired at the end and she left. When she came back, sijui kuchukua her final things, whatever, she was so kind. She was so nice. She came with a lawyer, I don't know. She was like, hi, how are you? How have you been? I was like, I'm good. So hata hiyo saa paka nilikuwa namfilia uye. Because valitolewa manze ilikuwa ya aibu. Ilikuwa ya aibu. And valirudi kama nyenyekea. She said hi, I said hi. Akamalizana na meeting walikuwa nayo when she was leaving, she was like, bye. See you around. And I was like, see you never. In my mind, I was like, see you never. But because I'm an empathetic person, I felt sort of sorry for her. But like everything she had said about me, everything she had yelled, that day aki argue na mimi because of me trying to tell her like she's doing the wrong thing. No. Like a part of me felt sorry, but the other part was like, don't feel sorry for her. Don't. You remember what she said. Remember every word she said that day. So don't feel sorry for her. And then I had everything she had done to the other girls and I was like, she deserved it. Her toxicity as at least it's no longer here. The way she used to speak about that other place. Ungedhania ni yake ni ameinvest hapo. Yani akiongelesha speaking down on the other girls because I don't know kama ni kwa Africans ama because she just thought that we were beneath her or what. But the way she used to speak to us and then she used to speak about that hospital. Manze, ungedhania ni yake. But hakuwaiona. She wasn't even there on the day it was opened. They have celebrated a couple of years now. I think it's Julie Funguliwa 2021 towards the end, 2022, 2023, 2024. So yeah, It's been there for 3 years now, and she didn't see any of them. So as I said, God always fights for me. Like battles za Mungu, hata kama ita take time, itakuja tu. Because God always got me. And yeah, she got what she deserved anyway. But yeah, so that was my story for another toxic work environment. Again, the office was toxic in itself in other ways. Maybe I'll come to speak about that some other time. That is what drove me to quit in the first place. But yeah, this one was just her being toxic. Actually, I think I should have called these ladies as toxic colleagues, or but anyway, I said toxic work environments, so it's fine because they created a toxic work environment for me. So I guess it suits the bill. So ni sawa, haina shida. But yeah, again, if you've ever worked with toxic people, ever worked in a toxic environment, you can comment on the comment section below, or you can go and tell me on my Instagram, at Mimi's Musings podcast. You can go and comment there, because I always share like a clip on there whenever I upload something new. So you can go and do that, and we can communicate and just share back and forth, and get to know each other a little bit more. While you're doing that, please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, so that whenever I upload something new, you can be one of the first people to come and just view. And thank you again for everybody who has already subscribed. Please, I'm still trying to get to 50, because I said before, like hata sitaki ukimbilia like 100 kwanza. Let's start with the first 50 and then go to the 100 and blah 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 and so on and so forth. But please subscribe, and don't subscribe and remember to come back and listen. Okay, bye bye now. Love you.